Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, barbecue heads of all ages, it is I, your host, Cowboy Kev, coming at you Sunday night for another episode of the Barbecue Chat Show.
No, I mean, but that guy had his consequences, right? There's consequences for his actions.
Scott, what's up?
It'd be different. I mean, dude.
Good night.
Good night. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? How many people start at the bottom? They gotta learn the hard way. You know.
I know, but like he looked like he had a nice truck. He looked like he put it together pretty nicely. Like, I guess my issue is like he paid attention to a lot of details,
Not the right ones.
but yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if you're paying attention to that much detail and you're looking at
that
like,
level,
at this stuff so meticulously, and his truck. It was probably a $30,000, $35,000 food truck.
Dude, enough said. All right, then. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know we were going into that situation. So
it was a good. No, you sent me the picture.
You put some.
If it wasn't for the cooker that was on it, it was a nice looking rig. Yeah,
I mean, it was small. It was a small rig,
but it was a small, good setup.
Good setup. Like, you don't have to have a big rig. Don't get me wrong. It makes your life a little easier.
Yeah. Well,
it makes your life a little easier, Mikey, when you're on the inside.
Everybody knows you're super snooty. Come on, now.
Well, no, it makes your life easier on the inside, but like when you're trying to get into like small little places, there's times that I wish my trailer was way smaller. Because we'll do events and they're like, we need you in there. And I'm like, what's the size of it? They're like, it's 20 feet. And I'm like,
sorry.
I physically cannot take off 6 feet of my trailer. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're 26 feet long. Oh. We figured you would fit in there. Yeah. We got to put the truck somewhere too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just magically, we don't have one of those little like cart things, which I just saw an ad for. I guess there's some new company out of Canada that's making these like little like remote control.
They hook you to your trailer and you can. Yeah.
A total different turn.
When you can take it and go like this and then push the front of the trailer over.
Yeah. And there's no like, oh, hold on, let me straighten this out. Like, no, you're perfectly fine. But it's like, fuck,
you're not
okay
there yet, buddy.
What do I do? No, but I'm just saying, like, you can't do, like, hey, we got 20 feet for you. Okay, but I'm 26, and if I unhook the trailer, I'm still 26. But truck
you still
and
have
trailer,
to get the truck in there enough to get the trailer there.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like we
do. You ever do a lot of jobs like in the city, like in Chicago? Because there's times I'm like,
no. We
had to figure out how to do jobs in San Francisco, and San Francisco is getting horrible.
Beer.
San Francisco and Oakland are like the absolute worst if you're trying to. There's no way you're barbecuing on site. I mean, depending on where you're at, but if you're in the San Francisco area or if you're in Oakland downtown area,
there's no room.
You're going to be trying to set up, and there's just no room. There's nothing there. You can't do it. Somebody has to have a lot of money to have property rented out or something like that.
Well, so we did the zoo. That was the one place we did in Chicago, like inside Chicago proper.
You got plenty of room because of parking and stuff.
Oh,
so you're good.
No, because they wanted us inside.
Tell me about the zoo.
So the zoo was.
You ever
great,
hear them try to bring?
But the thing is, like,
bring other monkeys in.
So, like, the problem was we get into the zoo, and then like we barely fit.
Oh.
And then we're trying to like get out, and there's trucks, and it was just a giant fucking mess. But I got into it with guy. He's like, "You got to move your truck," and I was like, "I can't move till they move."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, you got to move it," and I was like, "That's not going to happen." I go, "I can't move till they move." He's like, "Well, can't you just kind of?" And the problem was like, it was a gated truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he had his gate down, and I couldn't make the turn because I would clear the truck, right? If the gate was up, I would have been fine. But because the gate
you couldn't go
was down
anywhere.
I couldn't go anywhere. I was like, I can't pull up onto his gate.
Sorry.
I just can't fucking do that. Sorry. So I'm like, you got to go find that. And the guy's like, well, I got to get to another event. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I can't move my truck.
I'd love to be able to get out of
There's
here.
things I physically can't do.
And the weird thing, like, the guy was kind of being a dick because every time I inched back, he'd inch forward. I'm like, you do understand eventually, like, I need a little bit of room to, like, go out. He was just being a total dick. But whatever.
To Florida.
So,
Dude, you're going to have so much room in Florida. It's ridiculous. The parking spots they make out there are made for, like,
80-year-old people that try to
80-year-old
people trying to park.
Dude, we were in Mobile, and I watched a girl park
Be right back.
her car, like, try parallel parking her car into a spot that could literally fit my truck twice. And she parks dead center middle of it.
Oh.
So now there's not enough room to put a car behind you, and there's also not enough room to put a car in front of you.
Oh, you're talking about there's two spots and she parks right in the middle? I think you're talking about right in the middle of two lines. I'm like, all right, great. That's awesome.
No,
good for her.
No, just parallel parks it, and then, like, there's a room for half a car here and half a car there. And I'm like,
Nice.
Mike, you see what's
if
up?
you did that in Chicago, somebody would push your fucking car, like, forward at some point.
Some people don't make any sense.
Hilarious.
But
Whatever.
so going back to looking professional, though, and I think it's one of those things. It does matter, like you said, having good graphics, having equipment. If you're going to have your equipment on the trailer, like a smoker, which if you have half a brain, you understand they didn't pull up here and start cooking pork shoulder or brisket sitting right here. So
No.
to have a barbecue trailer that doesn't have the smoker on it isn't, to me, a huge deal.
No, like, okay, so if you look at Swig and Swine, they have not super large. Okay, they don't have a giant truck. He's got a smaller truck, but everyone knows they're smoking it at the restaurant, and they're bringing it to you on the truck.
Yeah,
they're
the
not
truck's
fucking
just a
smoking it on the
delivery.
truck. Does he have, like, does he have a smoker on a trailer that he could bring out if you wanted him to? Yeah, absolutely. He's got two primitive pits. He can bring out beautiful pits, right? But, like, the thing is, like, you get this vision, and it's like, man, I was excited to go see the barbecue trailer, and then I see the fucking, like, $4.99 Walmart smoker on the back of it.
It would have been better off not having anything there.
Stop it. Yeah.
Wait. So let me understand this, because I know I came in late, but was there a restaurant backing this guy?
Couldn't tell
I have no
because
idea.
there was nothing on, no branding, no nothing.
Branding
Okay, so
wasn't
that's
very
different
good.
than the story you just told. Then, okay, I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was connected somehow.
No, it's
All right, gotcha.
No.
it's the one he looked at that when he was at the food truck fest, had no branding, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it literally had like your Walmart
It was
charbroil.
a decently nice truck.
Right. Right, gotcha. I'm caught up. Here's my question to you guys, which I think is a good question for anybody trying to come in
Right now.
professionally.
Yeah.
Because most everybody will just come into it, like Aaron Franklin did, just feeding folks in their backyard, doing whatever. Their friends tell them their barbecue's great. They believe it. Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's not. Mostly out here, not. But
Stop.
it's a really important question because I know for me, my biggest thing I did professionally was get my logo. Once I had my logo, I felt like I had an identity. My logo was personal. I had a friend do it, almost like he got in my head and figured it out and put it on, what I needed. And then it got expanded upon. But professionally, it's like that gave me a lot of pride to go ahead and represent myself properly. But I learned that stuff in construction growing up. It's like, hey, sign your name on this then if you're going to do it, because everybody's going to know that you framed that part of the house or you did this job, or make sure you sign your name on it. So, and my brain's jacked up. I got ADHD. So a lot of times my workspace looks like my head. You know what I mean? And it's, everything's everywhere, and I need to get way better at my, use and play and my organization of things. But I digress. Trying to find the right choices with the little money you got getting into something like this. How do you choose the right way to show you're professional? You know what I mean? With the money you got, and my brain goes, all right, logo, cards, signage. That's money. It ain't cheap. But cheap. If you don't have those funds and you're starting from the very bottom, where do you start?
Here's where I'll tell you. Our logo that we use for Barbecue Chat, you can see it up in the corner here. That was on that. I used Fiverr, and it was what, Mike, $110. The guy sent me. I don't remember exactly. It wasn't break the bank. It sent me what, 5 logos. Me and Mike sat and we looked them back and forth, and we said, all right, this is the one we like.
I think we did a revision
we changed. Yeah,
I think we did like one revision.
But am I wrong in that feeling? Am I wrong in that feeling that you feel something important?
It's identity.
With that logo?
That's the start of your identity. That's when you were born. Your parents gave you a name.
It's not the start. I'm sorry. Let me say a timeout, because it's not the start of your craft.
It's the start of your identity.
It's the start of your professional career. Moving on. Yes, to be professional, and you're feeding the public.
I think the problem is what people don't understand is they tie those two. No, but they tie those two together, and they don't understand that they don't necessarily get tied together. Like, they're like, the beginning and my craft have to be tied together.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that your barbecue have better be on point, and you better get your craft down, and know your talent, and know your cooking skills before you go out there in the public. What is it Esau said? The best advice he ever gives to anybody who's trying to go pro in his area, better be good. Because if it ain't A+ in your category, man, I'm sorry, you only get one shot. I mean, if it ain't good, then things are going to spread, and good things, good marketing, or word of mouth will spread 5 times slower than bad.
Yeah. See, and that's what most people don't understand is
bad news travels faster than good.
Bad news travels. Yeah, exactly. Bad news travels a lot faster than good news does.
Thank you. Helping out my mouth.
Most people will tell. So if you have a bad experience at my food truck, or anything with us, they will tell 10 people on average. If you have a good experience, on average, you will tell 3 to 4. That's like high end average too. It's usually 2 to 3.
And the sad part is
doesn't
because
go
we're
that
different
far.
as cooks. We know the difference as cooks. We don't do that. We try to look at the good things. But there's people,
there are
just
people that
looking.
that's their favorite
They're
thing to
just
do
looking
is
to say something
to
bad.
cut somebody down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, Anthony Bourdain said it, you know, you do all this shit, and then some fucking Yelp reviewer comes in and rips you apart. That motherfucker can't make toast, but he's going to tell you what your food's supposed to be.
Well, not only that, but this is a guy that ordered, you know, decided your buffalo sauce was too hot for them. It's suicide. Your brisket was too peppery.
Well, here's
your
my
boneless
thing.
wings weren't wings.
Yeah.
Here's my issue. Let alone, I don't care about Yelp. I do, obviously, but I'm talking about when you're judging food. If you're going to be a food critic, I'm talking professional, you better know what the word is involved in that food.
But most don't.
Well, in the public, nobody does. And I think we need to, as cooks, always remember that. Nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares about your work. They care about the end result.
I don't think it's just
we should expect, I mean, I know we do as cooks. We expect that. It pisses us off. That's just the way it goes. It happens. Because, you know, you work really hard. If you can't appreciate this, then suck it. You know, go eat the donkey down the road. It's all right. It's sun-dried. You're good. It's aggravating, but we should get the fact that most of the time we're educating people, and most of the time we're dealing with people that hate their lives. They're freaking miserable. So trying to adapt to that without letting that stress change our love for our craft. I mean, I think that might be a whole episode, man, because that's really hard.
I take a Carrie Wise approach to it.
What'd you say?
I take Carrie Wise's approach to it.
Explain.
Don't tell me how to cook my shit.
I agree. No, I what was it? There's this guy who, maybe it's the same guy you're talking about. Asian Korean dude down in LA has a bunch of food trucks. And but this is what I'm saying. I don't know if it's the same guy, but this guy will go, hey man, you want to tell me how to do it? No, here's your money. Go somewhere else. I don't want your money. We are professionals in what we do. We know how to cook what we got. You're not deciding my menu because I know what I'm putting into this, and I'm the professional here, not you. Eat it and expand your palate, or get the hell out of my way if you're not having an open mind. And I feel strong. I can word that differently and be a sweet guy about it, but that's how I feel deep in my core, and I think that is a rule that we all have.
But I think that's a very difficult way.
Oh, 100%.
And
it's a difficult.
All it takes is that one person.
Very much
again,
do
today
that.
with social media and things like Yelp and things like that, all it takes is one person to have a bad experience, and we'll say the biggest thing the internet is great at doing is amplifying bad things. One person could have a bad experience, but that one person sounds like 1,000 because they'll go to every Facebook group. They'll go to every Yelp thing. They'll go to every article and comment, and it's one person, but they have now gone to every one of these places to bitch about you.
But here, let me ask you guys this, because I really do feel deep in my core we're giving Yelp way too much power, and we're not giving the benefit of the doubt to a lot of the public. I do feel strongly that like this cancel culture is leaving. You know what I mean? I think a lot of this negativity with that is going to be right behind it. And I think people will appreciate a little bit more what's going on in reality, word of mouth, through just regular people. You're building something with your community. And I really think that's the most important thing.
That's where
any restaurant caterer or anybody in their area who's trying to reach out, they should reach out into the community and feed their the base and
that's what's very important, because you don't want, we'll say, customers, you want advocates, because those advocates. So like for my regular business, for those that don't know, I sell power equipment and snowmobiles and ATVs and stuff. We have customers that when somebody does, I'll say, put a complaint about me on something like Facebook, they come out and I'll call it defend me. Somebody was mad because I wouldn't work on their machine because of the age of the machine, and they were mad. You have
your base to defend you. You have customers you've taken care of, and they know what's going on, and you're like, no, that's BS, man. This guy's taking care of me. You're slandering this man. He knows what he thought.
And that's where, and that's why I always look at you don't necessarily want you want customers, but you want to turn the customers into advocates. That they come out and say, no, here's why you want to go there. Here's why you want Steelhouse Barbecue to come and cook for you. And we'll say that's the difficult thing. It's more difficult to get advocates than it is to get customers.
I think you get advocates on your way up. That's where you're supposed to get them. Because when you're professional, you're dealing with people you don't know, and they're brand new, and you got to win them over with your food. If they're messing with you with BS stuff, like, oh my God, it was not real chicken wings, there was no bone, suck it. We working with what we got. But that being said, is I feel strongly that way about that. And I don't think that, I really don't. Damn it, lost my thoughts. Going to talk about something important.
But like I said, to me, having those advocate customers that, like I said, they push you, and those kind of customers are fantastic because they actually care about your business and your livelihood.
Oh, well, I know what I was going to talk about. Yeah, no, you know why you're right is because you have to give out a lot. You have to feed a lot of people at cost to build those advocates, so that you're feeding honest people. They're going to give you honest reviews, and you're not at the level where you can be professional yet. That takes humility to realize that. Sorry, you're not this level yet. Go back and you know what, man? Use your craft for free.
You know what I've always said?
I mean, because how many times have I've barbecued for a fallen biker or something? It's like I don't broadcast that crap. For me, I like to do like 3 to 5 events a year if I can afford it, to go out there and just raise money for folks. But that is sharpening my craft for free.
But you should do
that thing on a regular basis that promotes yourself.
You should promote it.
Not on social media or anything like. No, that's me giving to. I'll promote it if I got people coming in and they can like give money to what the benefit I'm doing. But I'm not going to promote stupid stuff that I'm trying to help out a family here by selling barbecue there. It might be, I'm going to promote the event, but I'm not going to promote myself and what I'm doing. I'm not that guy. I'm just not.
I get what you're saying. I'm not either. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at doing that, but you should, because the asshole that does it does take advantage of
good for him. Stuff. I don't care. He's a different guy. I feel,
but I'm just saying,
the same way, and not bragging about your own barbecue. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I went to Texas, sat down, drank with those dudes, and like I'm not gonna brag about who I am. I'm gonna try to be the humble cat, because that's what I respect. It's important.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. So those guys that videotape themselves giving to the homeless and stuff, if that inspires somebody else to do the same, that's awesome. That's what I appreciate. I don't know how to walk that line, and I don't want to put my own giving out there to be.
Unfortunately, the guys that videotape themselves
I really don't care
to the homeless.
That guy,
no, but I'm saying, unfortunately, the people that are doing that are the same ones that believe that no catastrophe
So
should not be profited off of.
any catastrophe should not go wasted.
Yeah, exactly. But
Which is that's a very political thing.
That's
but it's a
it's a
political thing.
It is.
It's toxic
thing, and you know it.
It's not political. It's bad. It's bad. It's toxicity that we're not pointing out as like that sucks.
But that goes to the any publicity is good publicity theory.
She needs to go out for the night. Yes.
If it's accidental, you know what I mean?
But here's the reason why
Machiavellian planned. It's
if you
different.
do it and you have to do it the right way, if you do it honestly and respectfully, that's where you get. That's again helps those advocates.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go over here. I saw that. I saw this guy was out here doing this.
Oh no, and I have. Don't get what I'm saying is put towards other people. That's how I'm. For me, I know my brain can't walk that line, and I would love to be able to go, hey man, I'm helping people out from the goodness of my heart, and maybe this will inspire you to do the same thing. But I'd rather just that go through word of mouth in the community.
No, and I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
It just sucks because it doesn't go as far.
And I just don't have the brain for it. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy that's going to try to twist. I'm not twist or manipulate, but you're what you're saying was right. The words, get that moment and broadcast it and market it. You know, I'm just not.
But so you get, you get that same thing, and like we've had it where like our customers have come to our aid in
the advocacy.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have people that, we had one customer that complained that there's no meat on our pork belly burnettes. That when you cut all the fat off of it, there's not much.
You're not buying pork belly burnettes for.
Somebody please explain to this man what pork belly. Is he not like bacon either?
It's like the same thing. It's like, well, if you cut off all the fat off your bacon, how much meat do you really have, right? And we just commented on it. We're like, thank you so much for enjoying our fatty pork belly burnettes. And then all the people in the comments started just like, boom, boom. Like, what did you think you were getting? You ordered pork belly burnettes. They're known for their fatty pork belly burnettes. They're known for this. This is what they're known for.
That's what pork belly is.
Boom, boom.
And if you didn't know what it was, you should have.
This is what pork belly is.
But Mikey, what that is your resume. That is your resume speaking for itself.
That's your
absolutely.
Advocates.
But I'm just saying, like,
it's
saying that.
Well, and it's really important to me that everybody stays true to who they are. Because if you're true to who you are when it comes to what you're putting out in your craft, and where you find your line, you hold true to that. You're going to find the people you want to.
Brazil, what's up?
Appreciate you. What's up, Brazil?
What's up?
And I think that's really important because when you do go professional, you have this whole advocacy to back you up. And strangers have been my biggest helpers. It's been insane. I'm sure the same with you guys. People appreciate the craft and the passion of what you're doing, and it spreads. It's contagious. And I think as we get seasoned in this, man, it's really becomes. I mean, right now I'm burnout. And that's why.
So have you ever heard
the whole welding thing? But it's really important for us to actually look at the positive side of things and appreciate those more, so we don't get burned out. You know what I mean?
So have you ever heard the saying that a customer will become your friend faster than your friend will become a customer?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And that's very true. You know what I'm saying? Like your customers will become your friends way faster than your friends will ever become your customers. That's why one of the things that like irks me on social media right now, when it's like it's one of like the like sounds that are going around where it's like my friends were like, I knew you were going to make it, blah, 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 blah. Well, why didn't you share my shit? Here's the thing. Your friends are never going to be that for you. Some will. Don't get me wrong. Some of your friends will. No, I'm not saying all your friends.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, you cannot rely. I feel like too many people start a business and then rely on, I have a ton of friends. They're going to come in and fill my restaurant. They're going to do this. How many fucking people come up and go, well, I know the owner, so I want free food.
My uncle helped build this restaurant. Why, do you know who my uncle is? Do you know who I am?
I'm his biggest fan. You're not.
Good. You should be like paying the most money for everything.
No,
but
I'm saying
buying things for everybody else.
You're not his biggest fan.
Right.
Well, why not? Because you're not spending any money. Money spending's good, right?
You know what? I've had so many friends help me out on gigs that don't want money. I'm sure you guys have had the same.
100%.
They don't even want money. And that's a huge amount of support. I really appreciate that. Like, it's ridiculous. But then we get those people that are kind of, especially because I've fed entertainers. It's like, hey, buddy, how you next time you're in town, let me know. And a lot of times it's cool because they're good friends of mine, and I really, and it comes from a special place. It's not like they're trying to take advantage, but there are those people that are, and they
the name
are trying to. Right, and that's, I think when you stick to the drive and you stick to the passion and you stick to doing your craft and keeping your head down. I mean, I think that is, for me, was super helpful. What I brought.
I mean, I've told
those guys.
I've told Kev this story. I don't know if I've told it to you, Steele. I was in the UPS store sending out packages. Right, I'm dropping off boxes of rub to send out to wholesalers and all that. And I'm talking to one of the guys that at our old UPS store. I knew all of them because I was in there all the time. And I was waiting for them to bring me something. So he's like weighing it to make sure it's going out correctly and whatever. And I'm like, cool. And this guy walks in. And he's like, I'm mailing out some of the best stuff, all cocky and whatever. Like, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, my packages are pretty cool too. Like, whatever. Like, just making talk. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, man, I'm mailing out barbecue sauce. And I'm like, I'm mailing out barbecue rub. He's like, oh, what rub? I'm like, oh, it's Fire and Smoke Barbecue Company rub. And he's like, I know the owner.
You do? Do tell.
I'm like, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know the owner. He's like, he's a pretty cool guy, whatever. He's pretty chill. But, I mean, he didn't like my sauce, so he's kind of, whatever. And I'm like, what sauce company are you? Tells me what sauce company he is. I'm not going to say it live, obviously.
A little nice.
And I'm like, okay. I go, but you know the owner, huh? And he's like, yeah. He's like, do you work for him? I go, yep. Sure do. You must know the owner really fucking well. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's those kind of people that are like, I know the owner. No, you don't. You're sitting and talking to me, and you have no fucking clue who I am.
Man, there's always going to be those guys out there too. And
but I just thought it was funny. You know what I mean?
It's
me, that's hilarious.
It's comedy. I mean, there's I don't know. And I feel like it's so easy to get wrapped up into letting, it's not, letting those guys, because I know there's a cat that went the professional angle, like the chef angle, and he started like broadcasting everything, like super, like not just professional, but like, I'm like the elite of the elite barbecue. Like the best of the best. And you come to me, it's expensive because it's the best of the best. And I have all these different people I'm working with. I'm in this magazine. I'm in this newspaper. I'm in this thing, whatever. We know the best of the best. because public decides that, and we know the people that are putting their craft in there, they know their stuff. It's offensive to me to see it go that route.
There is some barbecue outside of Texas.
A little bit. But for me, it was like, it's something that was easily, I got caught up in, and like getting upset, like, all right, this, what's the deal? This guy, this, that, and it's so easy to get involved in that you lose track of, what the hell am I doing? Just keep my head down. And I'm not saying that happened to you, Mike, but I'm saying that's why I try not to look at that. You know what I mean? I try to stay away from all that.
It was hilarious.
Because it takes away from my energy.
He ends up sending his packages out. I'm still waiting on the manager girl because what we did for our pop-ups, we would go and print menus, right? We would have the UPS store print us like disposable menus, and they had all of our social media on the bottom of it. And I also would put the next 3 or 4 events that we do.
So people, ask you a question? How many people are hearing this going on behind the table that know you already?
In the store?
Yeah.
All of them.
Oh, so much better.
Because they had an
Thank you
audience.
for clarifying that. Go on.
So this happens. He walks out. And the kid looks at me and goes, "Aren't you the owners?" I go, And I swear, like, they all, like, start laughing. And they're like, he must know that guy real well. And, like...
Because if you're the owner, nobody says they're the owner, because that's how you lose all your time.
All your money, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're the owner. It's so awesome because I have this sale I need to sell right now. Oh, you're the owner. I have some complaints I got to give you.
I gotta go. I just work here.
Yep.
Just work
every
here.
damn time.
I just work here.
I ain't glorious at all. You see the guy over there that's giving the food. He looks. Oh, I love it when the people I hire get mistaken for the owner. I'm like,
all the time.
Rad. I love it. And he's like, man, he thought I'm like, just keep it going, man. You look clean, kid.
All right.
Remember, I had my dad. I hired my dad to come help me work, and everybody went to him, and he felt so awesome about it. It was hilarious. He's like, man, I'm feeling kind of important out here. I'm like, I bet you are. Tell me how many meals have you cooked in your lifetime, Dad? This is a man that has problems pushing buttons on the microwave.
That's a whole other game.
I don't have daddy issues.
So we're at a little bit bigger of a festival, and my buddy Rob, like, we needed help. I needed more staff, and we just didn't have it. So I called my buddy Rob, who's a chef, and I'm like, "Hey, Rob, like, would you be able to help 1 or 2 of the days?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I can be there both days." He's like, I'm free for those, because he's a personal chef. So he works on the north side of Chicago, very richy white families. He's meal prepping and doing all this stuff for them, whatever. And he makes a good living for it. So he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Dude, I can totally make a little bit extra money and come work with you, whatever. That's fine." He was the owner the entire weekend, simply because he's a black guy. Everyone walked up to him. They were like, "How's business? You guys have this beautiful truck." And he's like, "Yep, yep."
And that's okay.
Literally,
and it's,
he's like, "I can't cook barbecue." Like, I don't know how.
Bro, I play off people's assumptions all the time. It's fun.
I mean, he can grill. Like, he's badass on the grill. But when it comes to smoking, he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I can't make a brisket." It's a different beast.
Yeah,
So here's should we got a half an hour left.
Do we want to? Are you going to crank them up?
Do I crank up the beast right now? But I'm going to crank them up on something else. So when we were in Texas, right? When we were in Houston, we walked into Firecraft Barbecue. Firecraft Barbecue stole my logo. Yeah. And he's still using my fucking logo. This logo right here that's on my fucking hat. This motherfucker still is wearing the shirt, his Firecraft barbecue shirt. I walk in. Okay.
Fire and smoke stuff.
Wearing fire and smoke stuff. Amanda's wearing fire and smoke stuff, and so is Ember.
Oh,
so it's fantastic.
As you should. As you should.
So
Where's
we walk in.
popcorn?
So we walk in. Dude has an apron on, right? And it's like lower than the shirt. So like you can see the Firecraft logo, but the apron like cuts off here. Sees me walking in so he has a storefront. It's all glass. It's in a strip mall. Okay, he's a strip mall barbecue place.
Where does he barbecue?
In the Southern Pride, in the middle of the fucking kitchen that's completely open. I ordered ribs.
I'm sure he goes through a lot of logs. He goes through a lot of logs. With
I didn't see any of them. Let me put it this way. I ordered his food, and I won't talk about will not talk about his food. I will not say whether it's bad, good. It's up to you. You're allowed to go try it. But what I will talk about is this. He sells it by the pound. There is good barbecue in Houston. That's not true. Truth's in Houston, and they're fucking good. And Blood Brothers is in Houston, and they're fucking good. So there is good barbecue in Houston.
No. That's not good. That's elite barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, there's fucking great barbecue there.
There's no good barbecue in Houston. Those are elite pit masters.
Yep.
And I say that with all reverence and respect.
And he's like 45 minutes north of Houston, right? So I made the drive. I wanted to shake his hand.
I'm sorry. I love you for that.
And I let him know. I didn't threaten him. I just let him know the next time he talks about me on social media that he needs to remember before whatever he says, plane tickets are not expensive. Period. Do with that information with what you will. I'm just letting you know. A plane ticket doesn't cost that much money.
On that note, some arguments aren't worth having.
But he's still using my fucking logo. He's agreed in writing through lawyers
not to
that he would not use my logo.
Go
right?
After him.
We're kind of in the middle of it, but I feel like I can voice my opinion on social media and online, because if he'd like to sue me first, it'd be a lot cheaper for me. So
what I am saying though is be careful what you say on social media, because you would hate for a recording to be played.
I'm okay with it right now.
That works for me.
I want to know. The funny thing is, so we posted some stuff about it, right? The funny thing, so this is his little friends that come after us. The name's not the same. Has nothing to do with the fact that the logo, the logo looks identical to mine. It doesn't matter what the words here are.
I don't know what the problem is, man. You're trying to explain something to somebody who's so inbred.
Take a Coke bottle. You could write Pepsi on it. Coke bottle, a Coke bottle shape is copyrighted. It doesn't matter what words you put on it.
Yeah.
You use that shaped bottle, you're done.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. So the funny thing is, so I walk in, right? He's talking to somebody because I can see him talking to somebody. He gets that person away from him as fast as possible. And interrupts me. Or walks up to me, he's like, and he's so nervous that I don't think he knows what he's saying to me in any way, shape, or form. And so I tell him, I'm like, hey, buddy. I'm like, that's my logo. And I point directly at his chest. And he looks down and he goes, I know. good. Here's the thing. If I steal your car, but I paint it a different color,
Still your car.
Right? If I put different rims on it,
Your car.
still your car.
100%.
Here's the deal. He has
So hold on.
zero imagination.
He does. So here's the other problem. He was friends with me on Facebook since like 2018. Okay. Oh, yeah, bad luck for him, right? Since that, he's no longer friends with me on Facebook because, it looks bad.
I'm sure it's your fault.
Yeah, of course it is.
You're mean.
I'm not kidding when I tell you I get between 200 to 300 ads on Facebook a day. Like I could show you, like I just get, because I'm in a bunch of barbecue groups, I'm in a bunch of chef groups, a bunch of people just add me. He was one of them. I used to accept it all. Now I don't accept any of it. So they just fucking sit there. So if you actually know me, and you try adding me, and I don't add you, I'm sorry. It's because I probably don't see it with the amount of people that are coming in and out. So I walk up to his register. He's like, yeah, go up to the register, order. Are you guys gonna get some food? Yeah, you're gonna get your food. Let me go get ready for your food. He walks behind, pulls his apron up, right? Gets all like, let me hide the logo now. Says to one of his guys, he's like, oh yeah, that's the guy from Chicago. Shit, he's fucking here. I can't believe he actually came here. Yeah. You called me an asshole on the internet. I showed up.
Because he did call you an asshole.
I order food, okay? I order food. He sells food by the pound. I pay for my food before they even get my food ready. Please explain to me how you charged me for my food. Besides the bag of chips that I bought for my kid, how did you know how much to charge me?
Or vice versa. How do I know I actually got the amount that I paid for?
And I ordered ribs. I ordered 3 ribs.
So he sells by the pound and does not know how the order goes?
How much for one
I
rib?
didn't weigh it.
Can I get one rib?
Yeah. I can just get one.
All right,
How much for
things? Either he was so
Right.
flustered, he messed things up. He just took your money and did it and just cut up whatever.
He didn't take my money.
No?
I went to a register. She took the order, then told the order, and then the food came out.
So in theory, they're
backwards.
they're going, okay, you want a half
But here's the
half pound. They're hoping that they cut a correct half a
I need
pound.
another rib for this, but okay, so hold on. So we're talking about professionals, right? We're talking about people that are being professional, and what do? We're working in the restaurant industry. So what does that mean? Margins are small, and guess what? Margins on barbecue are even fucking smaller. So my question is, every plate is being shorted, or every plate is being overserved, which if it's in the favor of the customer, I will not complain. I always say that if I fuck up and it's in your favor,
Look,
it's you.
have a nice day.
Congratulations,
Good luck to
you got more brisket. Have a good one. You know what I mean? Like I've had so many times where I've served something and I messed up on the ticket because for some reason I read that ticket and I read that there was a mac and cheese on it and a coleslaw, it was, and they weren't. And the person's come back and been like, I didn't have mac and cheese and coleslaw because I didn't, I didn't want to pay for it. And I'm like, well, you already got it. Congratulations. Enjoy. You enjoy the mac and cheese, the free mac and cheese, free coleslaw. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it sucks. You know what I mean? It sucks in a sense. But at the end of the day, they're happy. Yeah. So, if I'm charging you for a mac and cheese,
and you don't get it,
I'm not giving it to you, that's an issue. I got to make that right. So, if you're charging me by the pound,
keep going. I'll be right back.
Which, not to mention, I got 3 ribs.
Small end.
I paid $21 there.
For $21, 3 ribs?
3 ribs, $21.
He didn't say anything?
Which means it had to have been over. He didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Oh, you didn't say anything?
Nope. I think I already made a big enough mess. I mean, all of his employees were staring at me, being like, I had one employee literally walk by, back, look at my logo, read it, tilt his head. Like, that's proof enough that you stole my logo right there. Don't tell me that they're not, if your own employee walks by me, right? Am I wrong? No, I don't think I am. But I want to know, how are you charging people per pound and not weighing shit?
I honestly think you got too much into this. Wow. I really feel that
this is supposed to set you off too. Let's go, son.
Homie, I can get set off. I mean, if you want to take a ride. But, I mean, he's taking space in your head that, I don't think you realize. And I think once you shake that off,
whoa, pissed about. No,
you're going to be able to. It's going to give you more energy in what you need to, and that's what I'm saying. Is like if you.
What I'm pissed about is the fact that
he's still using it.
He's still using.
No,
it.
I get that. No, I mean, I trust me. If somebody was using my logo, I would, especially as my logo was really intricate and very detailed, and I had some guy trying to get at me. He was part of some, you guys are never let this go once I tell you. He was part of some group called Shitheads. Like, I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal the SH. That's awesome. I'm stealing it. And they made the comment on my Instagram. I spent freaking $1,000 trying to copyright stuff. And it was just like.
Mine is copywritten.
It was like.
It's copywritten, though.
So now you can go.
Oh, he's been going.
But I'm saying.
That's what's worse. That's what's worse is the guy's still using it, and he's already gone after him.
I started with a very nice, polite email to him, saying, "Hey, brother, I know you probably know who I am, and I wasn't saying it in like, oh, you know who I am. I'm like, we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're friends on Facebook. You've seen my logo. I've now seen your logo. He's like, but I've been in business since 2015. From 2015 to 2021, you used one logo. You were a competition barbecue team, and you had a competition fiery, cartoony logo, which is fine. Then you decided to turn this into a business. And somebody looked at you and said, that logo's not going to sell. No one's going to bring this logo into your corporate establishment or anywhere and say, hey, I want to get catered by Firecraft Barbecue, and here's this logo. Or here's the... And it works all the time. People cater from fucking Hooters. It works. I don't care. But he's at Houston. It's a very upper-class neighborhood. So he had to kind of turn into that little bit of an upper-class barbecue joint, or tried to. And if you look at, like, Truth, you look at Truth, that shit's clean. It's nice. It's easy to read. The logo's easy to read. You look at 2M, his logo's easy to read. Franklin's, easy to read. A lot of the barbecue restaurants are easy to read logos. Why? Because they stand out. No one wants to read a fucking, like, death metal name and try to figure it out. No one looks at a death metal logo band and be like, yeah, I know exactly what that says. There's no fucking words. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy that music, but great.
No, but as stupid as it sounds, let's go to one of the again, an iconic thing, McDonald's. McDonald's isn't super scrolly. You look at it, it says McDonald's.
Boom.
I like McDowell's better. McDowell's is way better.
But like I said, that was,
you know what I mean? Like,
our whole thing
so
with our logo when we did it.
Yeah.
It was simple, easy to read. So I messaged him, right? I emailed him, no response. No response at all, just crickets. No response. So I talked to my lawyer. I go, do you think we should send him a cease and desist right away? And he goes, dude, he's like, if you want to pay for it, I'll do it. But he's like, realistically, he's another barbecue guy. He doesn't look like he's that big yet. He's like, send him a message on Facebook. You said you're friends with him on Facebook. Send him a message on Facebook. So I sent him a very nice, polite message being like, hey, dude, your logo's really, really close to mine. In fact, I feel like you're kind of copying it. My logo is copywritten. So instead of me having to go the legal route, why don't you save us both time and money?
It's very reasonable. What do you think he's going to do from here on out now? What do you think he's after this? What do you think is going to happen?
Supposedly, he changed his logo. He sent us a new logo, okay? Which is still similar, but he changed it enough to where I can't legally go after him in court for that logo, right? Like, it's enough of a difference to where I don't have a slam dunk case anymore.
Right.
And he's barely using that logo. His stickers are all still my old logo. His stickers his shirts are still mine. All of his branding is mine. He's doing, like, if he was just a barbecue restaurant in a shopping center, and I never really saw him go on social media or try to get bigger, I wouldn't give a fuck. But I'm trying to build a national brand because I have a rub line, I have a sauce line, and I'm building a brand that does not find just to my food truck or just to a brick and mortar. That's the issue.
I get that.
Right? Yeah. So he's going out and doing, like, he's doing the Houston Barbecue Festival with my logo. See what I'm saying? So if somebody goes and has his food, and I'm not saying his food is bad, but if it is bad to that customer,
right,
and they see my logo, they may say, well, I tried their food.
At the very best,
it's
somebody that's taking your ID. You know what I mean? Somebody has stolen your identity. But my question is, how do you think he's going to react after the visit you have with him?
I already had the visit.
How do you think it's going to go? Do you think that he's going to still use that logo like he has been?
Yeah, he still is. He's still.
When did you visit him? How long ago?
A week ago.
2 weeks ago.
And he's still using it. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And he's still using it. And he's having people come after me now saying that I'm a shitty person and I'm trying to extort money out of him. I'm not trying to extort anything.
It is the Chicago
I did
way.
say that to him too. I did make that comment.
Well, listen. My lawyer told him. My lawyer said, "Listen, if you want to license it from us, we're more than willing to talk licensing, but you're gonna have to pay for it." I'm sorry. That's the way business works.
100%.
And
and you don't want him to do that. You don't want
and
him
I
to.
don't.
If he licenses it, you'll make money off of that, and you'll go find a new logo because that's smart.
But I don't want him. You know what I mean? I don't want him to do that.
Of course.
So you make it a number. It's the same way like when you're doing bids on a job that you don't want to fucking do. You give them a
That's
bid
ridiculous.
that basically tells them, I don't want you to do this. And if you take it,
Then you're that dumb. You're gonna pay me. No problem.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be worth
it. That's how it's got to be. So my issue is he's having people say that I'm trying to extort money. Not true. People are saying your guys' name isn't the same.
Doesn't have anything to do with it.
It doesn't have anything to do with it. You're just mad because he cooks better food than you. Never said anything about his food. Don't give a fuck about his food. P.S.
Not the point.
Ripping you guys all off because he's charging you money without weighing his food. And I guarantee you he's been doing it for a year. That motherfucker, he doesn't have the guys, he doesn't have the
slicers that know.
2M has. That fucking, like, are you kidding? The guy that works at 2M, like, the way he's slicing, I literally asked him to slice brisket. He was slicing brisket, and I'm like, hey, dude, can I get half a pound of brisket? Yeah, no problem. And it was like a point over half a pound.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that muscle memory. You've been doing it commercially for a year. You do not have that muscle memory.
Well, not only that,
period.
I'm guaranteeing you're not paying enough to get a slicer that worked somewhere like 2M or Truth or somebody.
But you also don't have the line that 2M has. So it's not even like the thing is, like, if you go and work at 2M for a year, you may have that muscle memory. Why? Because you've done 10,000 fucking
Hey, when I was done at Tano, I knew we did 9 ounces. And I was generally right there.
Right there.
I knew how many slices, and because we did slice for when, like, if you did an order of brisket, I did slices of lean, and then I did 1 slice of fatty on top of that. So you got both. And I was literally right there.
You can't tell me that his guys are pulling that shit.
No. And they're not. And
you're wearing my logo, and like I said, the problem is I'm trying to push. I'm not saying that I want to. I don't want our rubs to ever really be in Walmart. I don't want that type of distribution because I want to be a craft company. But when you start looking at that, I don't want somebody to say, I've eaten that food, I didn't like the flavor profile.
Hey, the company that did the other Fire and Smoke. And you got a review saying that the rub wasn't good. I remember that. Yeah.
Their food wasn't good. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy that's mad that now he's...
And it wasn't even Fire... The thing is, it wasn't even Fire and Smoke. It was something else. It wasn't even like the name. The name wasn't even correct. It was Fire something. And the person just remembered Fire and...
But just same thing. The guy that has the competition team that now he's changed it from Man Meat Barbecue to the real Man Meat Barbecue.
Yeah.
And
Why are
Hey,
people
I
such
looked
assholes?
around, as stupid as it sounds, I looked around for Wiley Barbecue before I chose it. And
I looked around for Miami Barbecue. I couldn't fucking find anything. I understand that he was a barbecue team before me, but he wasn't active at that time in the sense of he wasn't active on social media. He wasn't active on anything else. The only thing I think he had was maybe the Gmail, which you can't go off not being able to get a Gmail address.
because
Sorry, that's not like anything real.
Somebody's already tried to sell us the barbecue chat. Somebody's already tried to sell me and Mikey access to barbecue chat email as a domain and as a .com and everything. And I'll be honest, my original logo was Wiley Barbecue's head. Was Wiley Coyote's head. And I changed it. And now, you know what that is? Do you know who's in it? No, you don't. We all do, but
it's not enough for them to see.
And that's
the thing. Like, my thing is, like, you're stealing my logo and pawning it off as your own, and it's the hard part of, like, when I looked up Fire and Smoke, there are other Fire and Smoke pizza place. There's Fire and Smoke, other things, but they're spelled differently and they're written differently. Now, do people confuse us? All the fucking time. I get shit from there's a Fire and Smoke. There's a Fire and Smoke, and it's not barbecue. It's not anything. They're just called Fire and Smoke. They're out of Idaho. They do barbecue. They have a barbecue menu. We get emails from them all the time. And what I do is I tell them, hey, you're from Idaho. You are contacting the wrong Fire and Smoke. We're Fire and Smoke Barbecue Company out of Chicago.
Out of Florida.
And
get used to saying it.
The funny thing is, eventually, we're not there yet.
You're there now.
So, but yes, currently, yeah. In a state, yeah. You are correct. Fuck you. But what I'm saying is, like,
how much do you guys drink on this show? Well, here's a clip of Mikey.
Enough. There's enough alcohol in the cup.
Never enough in the cup.
The thing is, like,
we're not there yet.
You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, like, you have this. Obviously, we're doing enough on social media to get picked up by every fucking place in the state.
Yep.
Right? So if we're big enough to start getting that kind of stuff, and people messaging me, and people, whatever, why are you stealing my logo?
Yeah.
And that clearly means you might be making money off of it. At the other end, if they go onto our Instagram and they see our food, they see our stuff, and then they see that logo driving by.
Oh shit.
How do I know they don't go and stop? Because the fun thing
I
is
got that dude legally. I mean,
the fun thing is our website also gives us like, it'll show us where people have come from. Right. We have a lot of dots in Houston.
Go get his money. Go get his money.
The problem is I got to sue him in Texas. Texas don't like outsiders.
Wait till you get your establishment in Florida. Then look at you better then.
Maybe. My God, damn Floridian.
Florida man.
Florida man sues Texas man. Florida man might bite his face.
Florida man brings alligator to court.
Next on I-5.
Yeah.
Alligator boot, like, just another alligator.
Hey, also. So are you going to start? Are you going to add alligator burn ends to the menu when you get there?
Fuck yeah!
You better, dude. You're gonna have to wrap them in bacon. It's not a fat.
The funny thing is, like, so he came, like, we came in there, right? He's not friends with me on Facebook anymore. You bet your ass that he knows that we're moving to Florida. He knows that we're on this trip. He knows where we've been. Fuckers watching me like crazy.
Oh, Steelhead Barbecue.
There we go.
Sorry, man. We're talking about like similar names. It's all good, dude. I know Steelhouse and Steelhead, completely different things.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things where it's like it's not about the name, because his name's fucking Firecrack Barbecue. Cool name.
No, it's a nice.
Man.
The name itself is a cool name. I like it.
The name's great. It's cool. And everyone and all of his like little fans are coming after me, being like, his name is nothing like yours. Correct. I'm agreeing with you. Nothing to do with this issue. Once again, we both drive F-150s. If I take your F-150, we both drive pickup trucks. Okay? I drive an F-150. You drive a GMC. If I take your GMC, now stealing. It doesn't matter if I put a Ford emblem on the front of it. It's still something else.
You got two options at this point: legally or illegally.
And Mike's from Chicago,
No.
and that's the Chicago way.
Hey, listen.
I'm just saying.
It worked for years, okay?
Worked 4 years. It's still working.
Capone made a lot of money.
Still working.
Yeah.
Let
Explain to me.
So how long is it
Really
take you to
pissed
set
me
up
off?
for in Jacksonville? How long until you're set up? Dude?
I don't know.
He's still got to make his way all the way up to
These are
me.
questions I cannot answer. Yeah, I still got to go to
He's
Connecticut.
got to go to Connecticut, then keep going
Still
up,
traveling?
then come back to Connecticut.
Yep. Wow. Like I said, it's August, dude. We're taking a little bit of time off. We're enjoying life.
Good. You're supposed to. We work hard enough.
You know, the funny thing is, like, so as we're doing this trip, like, we stayed at a campground yesterday for 2 nights outside of Mobile, Alabama, and we were taking the dog for a walk, and Amanda's like, we are the youngest people here by, like, 50 years. And it's funny because, like, we're doing this thing called Harvest Host, which is basically, like, it's a network of places that'll let you, like, hang out and, like, park on their property type thing. And it's a bunch of businesses, and it's really cool. And one of the places that we did, like, outside of Houston was a winery.
Because that's the kind of place Mike should be near.
So
Yeah.
So
That's
I don't
what I
drink wine,
mean.
though, so, like, I'm good.
I was gonna say at
That's
least
what
it's
I
not
mean.
A brewery. I spent the night in a brewery for a barbecue one time. That was very.
We do
interesting.
breweries, dude. We do breweries, and it was awesome. So we did. We were at the Alamo Brewing Company, and they let you park there, and we get in, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just by the way, it's like $3 beers on night." I'm like, "We ain't leaving. Let's go." And the guys are like, "You guys are the Harvest Host people, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Cool. We don't have to worry about over serving you because you're gonna walk your ass over there." Like, yup. I'm like, I ain't gonna drive. It's fine.
All it takes is practice.
Next morning, moving a little bit slow.
Oh, that morning.
Yeah.
I remember our conversations that morning.
That was rough. That was rough. Oh, that was real rough.
Bro, wait till you get older, man. Your liver's like turns. You know, like
Your liver,
a certain point,
your
you're
whole
like,
body
"Wow,
tells you to fuck
right."
yourself.
And after 40,
So we're at.
that's how you like drink like 2 beers, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, I feel that in my heart. Next morning. I can't.
So we're at this Harvest Host at the
Come on, drink.
winery, and we ended up sitting with a bunch of people that there was a couple other guys that were there, and literally one of the guys looked at us and they were like, "How the fuck are you guys?" I'm like, well, we kind of had all the stars aligned and we were able to do it. And he was like, I am so jealous of you. He's like, I wish I would have started traveling like earlier in my life. And I'm like, dude, the hard thing is like in this like this last year and a half, I've had like 4 or 5 friends die, and it's like you start to kind of, and it's like they're all my age. You know what I mean? Like they're fucking like 36, and it's like you start to look at it, and you're like, oh,
It makes you realize your own mortality.
well, it's like I could fucking die tomorrow, and it's like I'd rather go do this than fucking, do something else. So
Let's go.
let's go do it.
It's funny. My mom asked me one time. She was like, "Do you ever surprised that you're still alive? All this stuff you did." I'm like, every freaking day.
Most days.
I mean,
Most days.
because like all the the crazy crap you did. Like I was born in '78, so like the '80s and '90s were like my playground, and it was way before anything.
You mean way
like,
before we all had evidence?
Yeah.
The
I'm just
evidence.
saying,
The
I might have
evidence
gotten
was
arrested
a
multiple
was a
times, but
camera that you had to
everybody
bring to
would've
CVS.
That you could smash and be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it never could catch action photos, so you're good, bro. It was yeah. So we were all doing crazy. I've got 9 concussions, bro. It's affecting my mentality a little bit. It's
You know how many like dick pics Steelhouse had to mail to people?
They were chiseling it on stone.
mail. It was there were smaller envelopes back then.
Smaller envelopes. You
different time.
threw a rock.
Smaller envelopes. Pictures look bigger. It was it was a different time.
You're one of the only people that I'm friends with like this that I can tell that's older than my ass. So I'm taking advantage.
And I've never not once sent a dick pic. You know why? Because that's evidence that you don't want somebody else to have. I mean,
He's lying.
I like to keep the illusion of
Stamps
life.
are too expensive.
He doesn't have a
No,
big,
the illusion
a
of life
good
is
enough
important.
lens.
You want to keep that.
I can't zoom in anymore.
Oh, Apple does that backup thing now, so it works out great.
You go 0.5?
0.5. 0.5.
0.5.
0.5.
Wide angle, bitch.
Schultz. You go 0.5.
Dude.
You can't go 0.5.
Dude, Schultz is. Oh my god, I love Schultz.
0.5. 0.5.
No,
Have you
I
Kevin,
haven't.
seen him?
Oh, so inappropriate.
I swear I probably said
Wait,
it.
no, all right. Kill Tony, since you're in Texas. Kill Tony.
I'm in Florida right now.
Okay, well, since you were Kill Tony is in Texas, so it's this thing where comedians go up and they have like 1 minute in front of like solid comedians, right?
It's
And I'm
hilarious.
explaining to everybody else, shut up. Anyways, so this dude goes up there. They pick. They just pick a name out of this can. Picks this dude, calls his name Aaron Arnold, I think is his name, and he has cerebral palsy, and he's mute, and he walks his cerebral palsy ass up these stairs with his cane, and he's got to be like 20, he's below 30, and he has like this JBL mic, a JBL speaker that connects to his Bluetooth, right? It connects to his phone, and he freaking swipes with his thumb, like on his right or his left hand is all, he's not using it, right? So he's got one freaking, and he's murdering people. He's like murdering, like
That's awesome.
He's murdering Tony. He's killing Tony endlessly. It's the most hilarious comedic stand-up I've ever seen in this category, because it's the only category that he's made up a new category. It's freaking hilarious. And he is just killing it. I dare you to drink water, hold it in your mouth for at least 35 seconds while he's telling his joke. It takes a while, time it right, but you that will make you crap yourself as well as piss yourself, as well as give yourself a sinus infection when it all comes out your nose. Guaranteed.
Dude, Kill Tony's hilarious.
So, look up Kill Tony. Search for I think it's Aaron Arnold. Can't remember. Look up Kill Tony. You'll see. It's the only dude that's got cerebral palsy up there. I mean, come on. It's not hard to find.
We'll figure it out. It ain't gonna be hard that far. Dude,
Yeah.
Schultz is hilarious, though. Schultz does a skit, and this will be the last thing we do before we go. Schultz does a skit about, like, iPhone being able to go to 0.5, right? And he's like, you Android motherfuckers don't understand what 0.5 is.
Can't back it up.
Yes, we do.
Hey, man, you
Just
you stick with that green messenger
all
thing
day
as long as you want. You should stay with the green. Go ahead.
When
man.
you
It's
reach
all right.
2023,
You retards can go ahead
when you
and do whatever you want
get
with
to
it.
2023 with your operating system, let me know.
Oh, I am 44 years old. I don't even know how to work my iPhone, homie. I ain't trying to get an Android to be more confused.
You do understand.
I light fires for a living, and I burn metal. I don't want to try to... Oh, man, my phone is way smarter than me. I don't want to mess with that. You lost your damn mind. No more mushrooms for you.
I watched something today where it was on one of my friends' like stories, and it was like, do you understand that before you had to pay per text message? And here's the kicker. You had to pay for the text messages that you got. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. Dude, I remember when text messages were first becoming a thing, right?
P9.
I was still...
I remember pagers.
I
remember pagers.
I had one. I had one.
Baby. You're
saying, like,
I don't even want to talk to you.
Please explain to me how pagers work. Please, I mean, like, please explain to me somebody's theory behind a pager. I am going to page you, right?
Go find a payphone.
Normal pagers, I guess, were okay. No, but normal pagers were okay. It was the pagers that had, like, voicemail on them. Now, I'm going to page you, leave you a voicemail. You now have to go find a payphone, put money in the motherfucker, listen to my voicemail that you say, hey, homie, call me. You gotta hang up, put more money in that bitch, and then call him back. How does that make any sense?
I remember having $1,000 a month long distance bill because my girlfriend lived in Sacramento at the time, my ex-girlfriend. And, yeah, my parents were not happy about that situation.
Yep.
That didn't go over very well. Long distance no longer applies.
Long distance isn't a thing anymore. Or do you remember this?
I
will call you back in like 15 minutes, 1 minute.
Dude, why are you calling me before 9 o'clock? I'll call you back. Click. Hey, I'll take T9.
Dude, I remember
back.
getting cordless phones.
Dude,
y'all can suck.
I'll take T9 texting back. Because you could fucking text people without fucking looking at your phone. You could sit there, you knew which buttons, fucking 3, 4, 5, 3, and you could fucking text perfectly. Now you're like,
the only problem was if you hit, I think it was like, what number was it? That had 4 letters. Like, shit,
yeah,
I
143.
Fuck.
Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
hell.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I had a pager. I got detention for having a pager in high school.
I got accused for being a drug dealer because I had a pager.
But you were a drug dealer, mother.
I was not. I was a drunkard. It was different. I wasn't a drug dealer.
I was not a drug dealer.
I was like, oh, party's
user.
going on, let's roll. Every Friday night, man, pager's going off. I'm like, I got a study group I got to go to.
You guys have all seen Blue Steel, right, with Martin Lawrence?
Oh, God.
When he's like,
dude.
She's like, you told me you were a banker. No, I told you I was a bank robber. I just stutter sometimes.
Bro. That's back when you can steal the family car and drive an hour away.
Neutral.
And then your
Push.
mom finally gets a hold of you on your pager. No, bro. No, seriously. I would take the family car, the Caravan.
Aerostar.
White with gold rims on it. Dude, so bad. And I would take it off and we would like, that van has got so many stories. I hope that thing's burning somewhere, man. But it was bad, bro. That's when you can like steal the car and then you get a page and then you can start driving home. You're like, y'all got to go. Get out of here. Get out of the van. We got to go. You get halfway home, pull over to, hey, what's going on? I need your home now. I need to get the car. Oh, okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes. 40 minutes later, you're just a little bit late.
Yep.
All good.
That's when you had to print maps out, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Print them. I had to unfold
my job,
them.
man. I was making money printing out maps.
The seat behind the seat, the pocket behind the seat had the big atlas.
The map,
the big atlas.
Oh my God! Yeah, and it was you didn't fucking know where
you knew you had money when you had like the real nice, the thick laminated one. Yeah. And then like the brand new, like I remember seeing a Thompson guide with like laminated pages on it. I was like, oh, that's expensive. I ain't paying that much.
Well, but you know the ones that you had, like the good ones or the shitty ones, right? That you had, and then like the creases would kind of go. So if there was a turn in the crease, you were fucked.
Bro,
you're like, the crease is worn out. What street is it?
I was working for a flooring company when I was 14 years old, and my job was to print out, find the address. All right, this is where it's at, and go through the whole Thompson guide and make this like folder, manila folder. Stapled the map on the manila folder, highlight the route from the freeway,
Steel MapQuest House,
and put all the information about the client in the folder. There was no MapQuest.
Yeah, it was Steel House.
I Xeroxed the book. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll tell you.
And you know that copy was a piece of shit. So like even he was looking at it, he was like, I don't know how people got anywhere. First of all, like dude, I delivered pizzas in high school for one of my jobs. How the fuck, like, I'd literally get the person's address, look at the map, take the pizza, drive it there, and come back.
So one of the guys in our fire department back years ago, they're like, hey, where's this address? The guy goes out, and the firehouses all have big maps in them. Gets back in the fire truck, and the guy goes, where are we going? G4. That was his answer.
How many people died trying to find direction to a house back in the day?
The guy was like, G4.
G4!
And everyone's like, what?
What is this shit?
God.
Yep.
Special.
Can you kind of imagine that, though? Like, imagine, like, in the, like, 70s, early 80s, like, fire, like, you're running out to go to, wherever, in like a giant city wise.
That's part of why the big cities are grid done.
So small.
They're grid done.
Yeah.
So it's First Street.
Yeah.
This Ave.
Yeah.
Where I live, being old farm country, the old time, some of the old timers we still have. Yeah, go to Johnson's Corner, take a left at this, and go past Blish's garage, and you're like, dude, Blish's garage was burned down 20 years ago. There's no Blish's garage. What's Blish's? Where was that?
Where it was at?
Have you noticed that Google Maps now has started saying like, go down the street at the Taco Bell.
And they tell you where there's a stoplight, too.
They do, yeah, sometimes. They're not always right.
I use
Same
Waze.
thing. Google owns it.
Google owns Waze. Oh,
for years.
Yeah.
The reason
Seriously?
I didn't use Waze, so the problem was Waze in Chicago, Waze would take you down alleyways.
It was happening in San Francisco, too, man. It was
It'd be
bad. Because
like,
you get lost during I was driving for Lyft when I was in San Francisco, like trying to buy this house, and you couldn't get the navigation because it was cut in and out back then because of the skyscrapers.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it'd be like searching. You're like, the fuck you mean search?
Make a U-turn. Make a U-turn.
Yeah.
I just did.
I got
the fuck.
Hey guys, I gotta bounce.
Yeah,
It's guys, we're
time
out.
anyhow.
No, you're good, man.
Guys,
Go.
this is the BBQ Chat Show. Over here, that's Steelhouse. You can find him on Instagram. Over here, that's Mikey. He is at Man Meat Barbecue or Fire and Smart _ BBQ on Instagram. I am Wiley _ E _ BBQ or the Barbecue Chat page.
How did you not know your own fucking name?
It's the Barbecue Chat page, guys. We do this every Sunday night. You will see some more content from us. On Saturday, I am doing my first SCA competition with a rib ancillary. So we will see how we do. It's over 60 teams. So
that's going to be a big one.
First one
decent size.
the first one they're
fucking
having
big
in Connecticut. So everybody's going.
So there's a lot of people.
Those are my first two competitions.
So it'll be
people each.
interesting. We'll see how we do.
I remember my first time.
3 first place trophies, by the way. Just so you know. That's all we got was first place.
So guys, follow us on Barbecue Chat. If you have questions, send them our way. We'll do our best to answer them or to say we're going to make them a fucking topic. So, and send us topics. Guys, thank you. We'll see you next week.
Later.
See you next week. You guys are the best.